Hey, there you guys are. Hey, I want to show you this new project I'm working on. All right, here we go. Well, hey, Mark, you almost finished?
Hi, Rob. Just putting the final touches on the lighting.
Took you a while.
Where have you been?
Well, I've been doing other things. There's stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
I know. There's more to this than I ever imagined.
Oh, no doubt. So, were you ready to sit down?
I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Alrighty then.
Hey, I've got those maps that we were talking about. Have a look at this.
Oh, wow.
These are really good. Look at that.
Wow.
Think these will do the trick?
I wonder what date these are.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really had time to look at it.
Way back in the teens, eh? Well, I think first off, we should tell everybody about the project we're working on. So, we're part of the Friends of Bouchie Milburn. It's a group that is particularly interested in the history of the Bouchie Lake area. Bouchie Lake is just west of Quesnel, 6 miles, which is why it was originally called the 6 Mile District. And Quesnel is located in central British Columbia. So the Pioneer Century Family Project is a project that we took upon ourselves about a year ago now. And it actually was something that was started probably 15 or 20 years ago by another group and sort of lost momentum, and we've started it again. And the idea is to recognize the families that were pioneers in the area at least 100 years ago, so 1925 and prior, and that still have family members in the community today. What do you think of that, Mark?
I think that's a great idea.
And you know about the bronze plaques? You want to
I've seen it myself.
Yeah? So we're going to do some bronze plaques is the idea. First, we have to identify the families that have been here and that fit the criteria and that live in the Bouchie Lake 6 Mile District. And then we will get bronze plaques that we are going to install in the community park. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, there we have it. So Mark and I are doing these videos to introduce everybody to the project and also to identify the families. Over the next few videos, we'll introduce the different individual families that we have already identified.
And also, we're hoping that other families will come forward.
Well, that's right. There's some families that we possibly don't know about and have overlooked because of that. And if we have, we'd like those people that are members of those families to come forward and tell us about their families. And possibly they qualify for the recognition.
And how do we come to identify those families?
Well, a lot of it is through oral history. Just like any oral history, it's handed down to other people. My dad, of course, was a local historian, amateur historian, and he knew many of the families that were here and told me the stories about them. So that helped. And then we have different newspaper articles from the Caribou Observer archives. There's this really great book. You've seen this book, Mark?
I have.
It's a great
It's
book.
wonderful.
And it was written locally in the community and well worth reading. It's tons of information in there. So by that, we can identify the families that were here originally. And then there's also this excellent book, which, you got a copy of this?
I've seen it, but I haven't had a chance to read it.
Oh, it is good. So the individual families are written about in here, and it's for all of Quesnel, so you got to sort through it a little bit and see which ones are from Bouchie Lake. But it's just pages and pages of family stories written by family members. So it's a real good resource too. And then the hardest part is probably identifying which families are still in the community, which we've been able to identify some of them.
So do they qualify if they were here in the early days and moved away?
No, we want to recognize community, the past and the present. So families that were here for the last 100 years and community members for that time period. So they would be pioneers and still members of the community.
I see.
So your family wouldn't qualify even though you had your grandfather?
My grandfather used to transit through in the Teamster Freighter days, but
Yeah.
didn't stay put. He was
Didn't
just
stay put.
travel.
So your family wouldn't qualify, but like my family as an example, they came in 24, my grandparents, and we've been represented in the community ever since. So they do qualify.
So that's families that have been here pre-1925
Right, 100 years.
to present.
Century.
I see.
Yeah, and we think we've identified most of those families, if not all of them, but there might be a couple missing now. So there was, of course, the Bouchie family, which I think it was 1902. And actually a little bit older than that is the Stabler family, and I think they came about 93 or 94. Then the Sanfords came about 1920. Then there was quite a boom, population boom here in the early 1920s. A lot of families came in about 1922. I think there was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, like the Rawlings, the Wilkinsons,
And the Millers, Coldwells, and Armstrongs.
and the Mers family.
Murray's family came in 24, that's right. Yeah. So you were wondering about the geographical area, right?
Yeah, well, here's the map. So where do we go from the eastern boundary, the north, the west, and the south?
Well, 3 of the boundaries are fairly easy. The eastern boundary is the Fraser River, so anything on the west side of the Fraser River from Quesnel over is part of the 6 Mile District, it was called at the time. And from the south is Baker Creek, and then to the very north, our boundary is West Creek or Whittier Creek, which is just at the presently the end of the pavement on the Blackwater Road. The western boundary is the least defined, and it is sort of roughly Milburn Mountain, but maybe as far as Penchesket Lake. After that, it's sort of part of the Baker Creek, Tibbles Lake community. And although there's some families out there that were there for the 100 years and still in the community there and here.
Like the Harringtons out in Nasco.
The Heritage out in Nasco, the Tibbles, of course, at Tibbles Lake.
Yes.
But they're really more represented in the Tibbles Lake or Nasco areas.
Well, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Besides Mark and I, we also have a couple other people who are supposed to join us, Walt and Edward, and they should have been here by now. I don't know.
Yeah, where are those guys?
I don't know where they've been. Can't tell time or.
Well, knowing Edward, he's out rambling the countryside.
Yeah, and Walt might still be busy farming. That seems to never end.
Never-ending job, that is.
Yeah. Well, do you want to maybe go look for them? Maybe they're outside.
Yeah, time for a coffee as well.
Okay, let's do that. Let's take this stuff with us.
Sure will.
I thought those guys were going to meet us here, Edward.
I thought so too.
You want your hat?
Yes, Walt.
Let's go see if we can find them.
Indeed, I'll follow you.
I just want to mention, if you guys want to donate to the Pioneer Century Family Project, you can go to the link in the description and donate to the Friends of Bouchie Milburn, and that's much appreciated. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, please subscribe, leave a comment, and of course, if you want to show additional support, you can always buy me a coffee. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.